Hey teachers, my name is Christina Chapin, and I am a special education teacher in the southwest suburbs of Chicago. Currently, I am a life skills teacher. I teach 4th through 6th grade, and I'm one of the first whole brain teachers to get certified with the type of population that I have. I'd like to share with you a couple of things that I have used, especially for my nonverbal students. First thing I'm going to show you is something I developed last year when we had a student contact Nancy Stolenberg, who is in charge of the certification. How do you get somebody to do the 4 parts non-verbally? Now, I'm fortunate that all my kids do talk. Nonverbal is not necessarily that they can't talk. It's just that they can't always process speech or talk clearly. So I'm going to show you something. This is from Lesson Picks. It's very inexpensive. It's $36 a year. But I have a feeling that if you really needed it, I would help you out, or I know they would probably help you out. So I had my cards separated into 4 different colors. So the participant would show this first one, class, class. Then the next one would be yes, yes. What's nice about Lesson Picks is that it is easily made, developed, and if you don't have access to Lesson Picks, you can always do things with clip art, and that doesn't cost any money. Then the next step, mere words. I made multiple copies so that multiple students could actually use them. And then, of course, the 4-step teach okay. You're not going to be getting advanced sentences yet from your students, but who knows? Here's another one. I got off of Teachers Pay Teachers, and then I cut it down to about 2/3 of the size. So class, class, hands and eyes, and of course, mere words and teach okay. So that's something else. Last, I'm going to show you something that I used. It's not exactly all whole brain, but I think it really goes with the whole brain philosophy. Usually what I would do is I have a couple examples of some schedules, and I would put a student in charge of it, a student leader. And for this one, they're all different. I prefer real pictures. If I'm doing something individual for the student, I try to pick the student's items if I can, because I think that's more meaningful. So this is from PicCollage, completely free. And I just have a good time making up collages. I'm like the collage queen. So for Corinne, this was backpack. Then her next step was to go into her mailbox, then hang up her coat. The next step was to get her supplies. Now what I'm doing because of COVID is they're each having their own individual supplies. And then we go to their desk and do whatever work was on their desk. Then the next step is to do an independent activity. This year I did it. There was an activity always for her to do at this green table. And then later in the day, she was to put her work away. This was also on her way out. She's supposed to pick up her work. And this was also a box to talk her about doing the individual boxes. So she had one schedule that pretty much lasted the whole day. I also do have visuals up like crazy. I had another student, his name was Jordan. He had trouble with organization in the morning. So I gave him this and he picked up with it pretty fast. So backpack, hanging it up. This was a different year. Then, of course, go to his mailbox. Then he needed to get his supplies and started his morning work. And at the time, that was his morning work. And then here is a last one. He needed to get his stuff. The other problem I had was kids came in at different times of the day. So I would have to stop everything and go. And so I trained my students to help them, and eventually they help themselves and were able to do this independently, or I would just point to it. I wouldn't even talk. And then you have your schedule, your supplies, and then start on your work. So I've changed things over the years. Now all my students have green folders. I just think green folders are a little brighter. So basically I have red folders for IEP skills and any documentation I do. And then yellow folders are for anything they take home. On one side I have work that needs to stay at home, work that needs to come to school. And then, of course, the green folders for the desk. I really try, and then, of course, a few supplies. I really try to have as little as possible in the desk because I found that they're less messy. I only have to basically check everybody's desk once every other week. I'm planning on doing the three-peat with having them clean out their desk, showing them step-by-step on how to do it, doing the 4-step lesson with that as well. So those are some things that I use for visuals for my students. So I hope that helped, and I'll talk with you next time. Bye.